Hi everyone. My name's Jade, and we're going to call it When Amanda Met Jade.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
I love it. Amanda, I think just for anyone that doesn't know us, because it's just, we can't assume we're not super famous yet. Tell us a little bit about you, and then I'll do the same, and then let's just tell everyone about how we met and all these random occurrences that the universe has aligned for us to come together.
Cool. Okay, good. So my name is Amanda. I'm the co-founder of Lord of the Fries. So some people who live in Australia would have seen that brand. It's the biggest vegan fast food brand in Australasia. And I was there for 20 years, and I've recently exited to move on to my super purpose, which is coaching and speaking and healing and running workshops and retreats. And Canadian. I'm a mother, a good friend, and happy to be here. Not sure what else to say about myself. You introduce
That's
yourself, please.
amazing.
Oh,
That's
you.
amazing. How many children do you have, Amanda?
I've got two.
Two, boy and a girl, or?
Yeah, I have an 11-year-old boy and a 15-year-old girl named Coco. And the boy is
Nice.
Johnny.
Nice. I didn't actually
Yeah.
realize you had a 15-year-old girl. How is that?
Yeah, it's so intense. It is really weird. It's very so 15-year-old girl is very different to a child and a woman. She really in her own universe that has her own
Mm,
friends, their own concerns, their own language. The adults are very alien to them, I think, and we're sort of tools to facilitate their money and their food and their shelter, their basic needs. But
their lifestyle.
yeah, their lifestyle. It's complicated having a 15-year-old girl these days with all of the
Yeah.
personalities and influences. Yeah, I'm finding it to be very full on, but it's is she my she's a very good person, and I was like so wild as a teenager. So I just keep being like, as long as she is less wild than I was, I can do this.
Oh,
So
100%. When I think about my daughter, she's only 2.5, she'll be 3 soon. I'm like, God, give me the strength if she's anything like me and did the things that I did when I was 13, 14. Like,
yeah,
just please, God, let her just be better. So
yeah.
I've got it all to look forward to. But
But what were
yeah.
you like then? Can you give a snapshot of what that teenager was like?
Mm. It's hard to know what's appropriate, really, isn't it? No, I'm
Yeah.
only joking. I'm an open book. Okay, so as a teenager, I was very, very headstrong. I was not a bad person. I wasn't like rude, but I just did whatever I wanted to do. Basically, I
Mhm.
I would literally ask if I could do certain things. Hey mum, can I go to this party? It finishes at 11. My mum would be like, absolutely not until 11. You're 13. Like, we'll get you at 9 o'clock and we'll pick you up outside. And I'd be like, oh, okay, that's fine. And then I'd basically make something up so that I could go, but I'd be like, I'm going to stay at so and so's house. I'm not going to the party anymore. No worries. And then I'd make sure that my friend would cover me,
Yeah.
so in case she called the house phone. And I was just like, well, I'm going to do whatever I want regardless. So you're
Yeah.
not going to tell me what to do. And I always loved dancing and partying, lots of clubbing and fake IDs, and just really vibrant, big energy all the time. I just wanted to have fun.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I did live my best life. And, ultimately that's led to me who I am now, which is I'm a mum of almost three. I'm 34 weeks pregnant. So we're having another baby very soon. I have a 5-year-old and an almost 3-year-old. And I founded Privé Hair and Makeup, which is a premium mobile hair and makeup company in 6 cities in Australia.
Amazing.
It's all about empowering women to look and feel their best when it matters the most, and convenience luxury brought to you. We also have a luxury salon space in South Melbourne, Privé Hair Organics. We have an education platform which is on pause, Privé Education, which was in Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, just because too many balls to juggle, unplanned pregnancy. So that's on pause for a little bit. But that was amazing. And it's something that we're so lucky. We have such good networks and connects now. We can just pick that up as and when we need. And we also have Privé Studio, which is a photography studio. We also do content, personal branding, videography. It just ties in really well with
Wow.
our other businesses. And
Mm.
we utilize it as an office space as well. And then, very much like you, true passion being coaching, supporting others. I do a lot of one to one coaching. I do group calls. I'm also a meditation teacher. And so, yeah, I feel like we do like very similar things, founding things and supporting people and just having a really bright light, which is so interesting, right?
Yeah. Well, you at the beginning of the call, you said how we met, and that's when I found your profile on LinkedIn. And when I read
How
your
did you
profile, I'm
find
like,
it?
well, I don't even know. But when I read it, I was like, I feel like this one is like me. I felt like there's something very close here that I need to. Uh, I felt similar. I felt we're on a similar trajectory, on a similar path. So I wanted to see what we could do together and how we could meet.
I love that. So, just for
Yeah.
anyone that is like listening to this, because I'm so guilty of this, Amanda, and I said it to you, I was like, Amanda, we have to angle this in the call because I am I'm rubbish at LinkedIn, right? It's,
Mhm.
there is so much to do now as an entrepreneur. It's like, you've got to be content creator, editor, chief executive of everything. And, it's like, oh my God. But Instagram, I'm pretty good with, we have a podcast, me and my partner, but LinkedIn, not really using it. And our marketing girl has been like, Jade, you really need to,
Mm.
you've got 500 plus connections, and I don't know what possessed me to check my LinkedIn because I get messages all the time, as I'm sure you do, Amanda, that's like,
Mm.
hey, can we help you with your marketing? Or can, just like cold calls.
Yeah.
So you messaged me, and I have messages unread from like 3 years ago. But you messaged me, and I happened to see it, and I happened to go into it. And I was like, why is Amanda Lee Walker messaging me? And I thought maybe it wasn't real, like maybe it was I don't know, like a robot, I think your message
AI.
it did. I was like, oh, is it just a robot that she's got like the algorithm? And it was something along the lines of hey Jade, like great to connect with you. I think that like I'd love to explore like have a bit of a chat together, something like that. It was just really open,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Haven't done
that's
that with
weird.
anyone else. Do you know that? I haven't
Haven't
done that with
you?
anyone else. I never have.
Oh my God. Well, there
I
you go,
know.
guys. If you don't use LinkedIn and you're a business owner or you would
Yeah.
like to be a business owner, you're working towards doing something yourself, you need to use LinkedIn and you need to message
Yeah.
people and collaborate with them because really special things can happen.
Yeah, and I think since we connected, I have looked at LinkedIn a little bit differently, and so now I take a bit more time to respond to people who connect with me, just to see
Yeah.
like who are they, what are they doing, and I started to I realized maybe that's a good way to connect with people because most of the messages are like rubbish.
Yes.
So if you're going to send a nice message and you genuinely want to make a connection, maybe that's a good place compared to Instagram, which gets flooded, or emails, which people, something nice to look forward to, sending someone a good message on LinkedIn.
Oh, 100, something that doesn't mean going on a free consultation and parting with any money is always a great start.
Yeah. And guess what? I got a job today on LinkedIn, through LinkedIn.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So today, actually at noon, I had a call with a woman from Liquid Leadership. It's a women's in leadership conference. And they asked me to do the preparatory workshop, which is a full day workshop. And then they
Yeah.
asked me to do a 40-minute keynote the next day. And that's of a big group of women, like 1,000.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Well,
Thank you.
LinkedIn is the one, guys. LinkedIn is
Yeah.
clearly the one. Um, oh my goodness. And so what was your, okay, let's talk about this. What was your Because I remember going into the call with you and I was like,
Mhm.
I didn't know what to expect. I'm not very, I'm an open book. It doesn't confront me or make me feel, I wasn't nervous in any way, but I was very intrigued. I was like, I don't know what we're going to talk about, but I just feel like we need to talk. What was
Yeah.
your thoughts and feelings leading up to us connecting? And, where were you at in that space?
I'm just adjusting my lighting, but yeah, I saw your LinkedIn profile and I saw that you did the primordial sound meditation. So I already knew, and you're a business owner, so I already knew that you would be cool and that you're diving into deep. So cool that you were diving into deeper realms. So I knew that speaking to you would be at least interesting because you're doing cool things. And then when you told me a bit about you and a bit about your belief in manifesting and that you're moving to Bali, I was like, oh, great. I found myself a queen here. And yeah, I guess I got what I was expecting. I could tell by your profile that you would be a really evolved, wonderful person looking beneath the
Oh,
surface.
you're so sweet.
Yeah,
Thank you. Do
cute.
you know what? Sign me up for a D&M any day. I'm just like, if you want to talk about the universe and manifesting and just the law of attraction and goodness and inner light and purpose, I'm like, sign me up. I could just talk all
Yeah,
day, 8 hours a day, all day, every day. I
it's
just
the
love it.
best. Wait.
Um, but yeah, I love talking to you as well. And it was interesting. I feel like energetically, I have learned, and you've probably, I don't know if you noticed this, Amanda, it'd be interesting, but I have to reserve myself slightly upon first meeting because I am a very big energy and it's just, I don't know you, right? So I can't go into a business meeting, for Privé and be like, hi, everyone, my name's Jade, for a hotel partner. They're going to be like,
Mhm.
wow. But that is actually my true authentic self, right?
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
have to go in and I can, as a mature, self aware adult, reserve my energy and say, hello, so lovely to meet you. I'm still warm, I'm still vibrant, but I'm just reserved. Did you feel that on our first call that I was definitely slightly softer in like how I presented? Just let me
Yeah,
know.
yeah, absolutely, actually. Yeah. Maybe more, but I could still feel you. I could still,
Yeah, because you're
you
so
know,
intuitive.
but it's like a gift that just keeps bringing something new out, like one of those endless sort of like the magician's scarf.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
You're
know
just
what
sort
you
of
mean.
giving me more and more parts, a little bit more, a little bit more. So, yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
at
amazing.
first, I guess you're reading the room, right? To see, what am I receptive to? Which version of you is going to, you know, align with me in the moment? I think that's a very good business
Cool.
skill.
Well, 100%. And you have to be, I think, what a lot of people lack, and it's not about being inauthentic. And this is the fine line because people, you don't have to be someone else in
Yeah.
different situations. You can always be true to yourself and aligned and speak your truth. But when we are leaders and business owners specifically, we have to compartmentalize the highlights of our true authentic self to get the
Mm.
outcome, solution, and end result that is most prosperous for us or the business at any given time, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
People don't understand that. I think they just
That's well put.
feel people get too offended about things, you know what I mean? And too
Mm.
attached to different perspectives and meanings. It's like just be yourself, but just be super self-aware of the room at the same time.
Yeah. And I like that you said to know what's the outcome that you want. So I
100%.
suppose our outcome for our first call was just connect and see where we've got resonance. So that's just like you're in temperature mode, like somewhat neutral, high vibe, neutral, feeling, what's this
Exactly.
person? What are they thinking? Where's the matches? Where's our compatibility?
Exactly. Exactly. And one of the things that I found most interesting about you, Amanda, which I knew, I think it was on your LinkedIn profile as well. Of course, I stalked you a bit too.
Thank you.
But it was the My Human Design. It's something
Mm.
that I'm interested in everything, right? You're the same. Like anything that's like, holistic and aligned, if you're on that spiritual path, generally anything within that realm is of interest to you. But it's not something that I've delved into deeply or super knowledgeable about. And so when you said that, I was like, oh, this is so like it's really interesting for me. Um, Tell me about how you got into that. Like, how did it come into your sphere and life that you were
Oh.
going to train in my human design?
Oh, thanks for asking. So during lockdown, I guess I was starting to get a bit of, yeah, some feed of that. And at first I was like, this is too weird. I started to look up like who's Ra Uruhu. He's the founder of that. And I thought, no, that story's too strange. How he got to, I looked up how did he get the messages? It was through a channel, right? And I thought, this guy's too weird. I can't do this. It's too strange. It's astrology. I'm a businesswoman. Even though I was doing Vedic meditation and all of that stuff, it was just like a bit too far on what I judging as flaky,
There's like
right?
woo, and then there's woo woo, and it was
Yeah.
too woo woo
It
at
was
the
like
time.
woo woo woo. Woo woo woo. I was like, what is this, right? But I sort of saw a projector and I'd read it and I'd be like, nah, I'm a generator. I work hard, all this stuff. And then it came around again and I'd see the projector and I'm like, wait a second. Maybe I'm working too hard. And I did my design again and it's like, nope, you're still a projector. And I'm like, hmm. And then I'm not sure. I think finally when I accepted that the qualities of a projector are my true qualities, and maybe I'd been like bluffing to be a generator, and I started to behave more like a projector, like let myself rest, let myself guide, start delegating, and I started to see how my life kind of quickly got into alignment a lot faster.
Mm.
And then, so I was just doing a lot of self study, heaps of self study, and becoming like my projector energy and letting go of all of that generator. And I think it's very common among projectors thinking that they're generators. Most people think they're generators. So, anyways, I started letting go of a lot of the stuff that wasn't me, which is called the not self in human design. And then I went on an ayahuasca retreat in
Wow.
2000. Yeah, it was so good. And in 2023 was the second one I went on. And in that experience, it's kind of hard to describe, but basically, one like scene was I was in some sort of world where they gave me a key for the human design, and then kind of after that it started to make a lot of sense to me, and then I decided to embrace it, and then I could actually retain the information very quickly and teach it. So that's the sort of the journey, and now I just sort of I use it with all my clients and I love it. It's not my main worldview, but I use it in everything, and I just cannot believe how uncanny and accurate and a shortcut into people's personality it is and their energy. It's pretty cool.
So for everyone that that's listening as well, one of the things that I'm so on board with this, and I think that's an amazing story, Amanda. Like honestly, super inspiring. I'm so deeply rooted in like intuitive decisions,
Mm,
almost too much so. Like my partner Henry is the pragmatic left brain that kind of strategizes and reins me in slightly without bringing me down, and I lift him up without saying that he's wrong, so it works very well.
that's nice.
But yeah, that intuitive feeling of like exploration and energy and feeling drawn to things is literally
Mhm.
like my thing as well. But one of the first things that you said to me was like, hey, so we finished our meeting, it's all really nice, we obviously have a great connection, and Amanda's like, can you send me the location that you were born and your birthday? I was like, okay. She's like, yeah, I just want to do your human design. And I was like, okay, makes sense. And I'm like laughing to myself because I'm like, she's already profiling me and assessing me. She knows more
Yeah.
about me than I know about myself, probably.
Cheat code.
Um, but yeah, we still haven't even had time to deep dive properly into that. I'm sure we will. Um, but yeah, it's just, and you know what I always think about my human design? Maybe it's just because my children are young, but I'm like, wow, this could be another business idea. Love a business idea. Maybe we could come together. So meditation for children, I'm super passionate about. I need
Amazing.
to educate, learn more, and actually just practice with my kids more and more. I already do it, but meditation and my human design for kids, like imagine a world where
Oh,
they're
so good.
deeply embodied in their human design from the get-go, and they're encouraged to shine. They're never trying to be something that they're not, and they're
Mm.
actually fully supported and acknowledged in who they are. Like, just imagine how much hassle that would have saved you growing up.
Oh yeah, well it's true. And once I raised my kids until, so let's see, I think they were around 12 when I stumbled upon the human design, and then I was like, oh, Coco's a projector, Johnny's a manifester. And before that time, I had been trying to raise kids both kind of like as me. Now Coco and I are both projectors, but Johnny's very different. In any case, I was also trying to raise them as I thought kids should be raised, which is not even like me at all. It's just sort of like this is what the good parents do. But once I
Doing the
learned their
best that you
design,
can do.
right? But also like what you think people that what you think you should do, like based on sort of like what are the other parents doing, like what are the grandparents going to think, what's the world think about what I'm doing. It's kind of raising it in a way that was out of alignment with my sort of maybe natural tendencies as a mother, and then also out of alignment with their design. Look, and things were still good, the kids were fine and it was fun and stuff like that. But once I learned their designs and I started experimenting with like getting Coco to speak her truth, because she's a self-projected projector, and getting Johnny as a manifester. He used to have like anger problems sort of as a kid. And then once I started to understand that the anger is a result of him being interrupted in his creative flow, and to sort of work with his flow and then teach him how to manage the anger, and understand when he gets that creative urge, it's really worth it just to go with it. Don't put it off. Like Coco, I can kind of delay a little bit, but when Johnny wants to like make a fort out of all of the Dooner covers using a fan and stuff, put cookies in there, and that, just like go ahead and do it because it's going to be amazing. Just go with the
Yeah.
manifest your urge. And with Coco, let her have the rest in the space, and maybe don't push her as hard as I was, like thinking she should be like all the other generators. Or yeah, so I changed my parenting quite a lot, and I find it's actually a lot more liberating because I'm letting them be themselves
Yeah.
versus trying to either let them be like me or like the other kids in their class. I'm trying to see them as unique.
100%. And
Yeah.
when you have multiple children as well, because I think about this a lot, it's more probably a little, not fear, because I don't lead by fear, but a little bit of I'm very self-aware and very,
Mm.
I'm always self-analyzing as to how can I be better, how can I improve, which is a great thing. It's not
Yeah.
critical, it's analysis. And I'm thinking, right, I'm having a third baby, but I do need to, I feel like children need allocated time to, really lean into what their wants, their needs, because they're different ages, they're different people,
Yeah.
they're different personalities, they're different sexes in our cases. So they actually do need a little piece of you that's going to nurture purely that. Because when you have both of them, you can't accommodate for both, both individual
Yeah.
personalities. It's just we're a team, we're a
Yeah.
group, and we're just going to go with it. We've got
Generalizing. Yeah.
I'm a Cancer, Hugo's a
Mm.
Scorpio, Henry's a Capricorn, Harper's a Taurus. We've got 2 Earth, 2 Water, and we're going to have an air, Gemini. Gemini's air, isn't it?
Oh, that's great. Gemini. Gemini's fish, isn't it? Would be water?
No, it's not
No,
water.
I'm
It's
not
an
sure.
air because it's the twins.
Oh, twins, twins. They're not fish.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's air. So we've got earth and water, which is very
Yes.
well balanced. Harper is like Henry, aka they're very grounded. They have the warmth, but they're quite stubborn. They're
Yeah.
very unemotional. No FOMO, no sensitivity. Just like, yeah, this doesn't work for me. I
Mm.
don't want to do it. Like Harper says, I don't like it, and I'm like, but everybody's doing it, darling. Like, come on, let's all go swimming. No, I don't like it, and she's 2.
Oh,
I'm like, okay, cool.
I
Um,
like it.
Whereas my son and me, he's a Scorpio and I'm a Cancer, and we are so dramatic. He's like, "Oh my God, mummy, I need to do this." I'm like, and I'm the same. I'm like, "Oh, I'm so needy. Like, someone come and pay me attention." I'm like, "Come on, let's all be really close." And Harper and Henry are like, "No, we're just sitting on our own." It's like quite a funny combo. But yeah, so the air sign is going to be a wild card. I don't know how
Mhm.
that one's going to fit in, but hopefully there'll be some harmony and balance in the house.
So you're the pure generator. Is it true?
Yeah.
Pure
I think
generator.
that's what you told me. Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
really know the
Yeah. So
attributes
that
in and out.
Yeah, so you've got the pure generator. This is the life force energy, consistent source of energy. It's like the fertility. It's a battery. So every depending on what your kids are and your husband, people will be plugging their battery into you. You can even see in our dynamic, I sort of plug into you because
Yeah.
generator would have that leading energy.
Yeah.
You've got like the magnetism and ability to create mastery in the world through your aligned living and your aligned work. So you'd be pulling in like-minded people, especially because you've got the 2-4, which gives you that Buddha nature as the 2, and the 4 is the community, the heart-centered, that frequency. So it's like a student of life, and there's a part inside that would be yeah, like a Buddha nature, but also conscious but unself-conscious, so unaware, like a naturally talented, gifted person who's would be have a humility as well. So you would have natural talents as a kid that you would not necessarily know, but people might say, "How do you know how to do that?" Well, you're so good at that, and you'd be like, "Doesn't I didn't learn this anywhere. Like this is just who I am. It's how I am." That's
Mm.
the 2 is a natural talent, and then the 4 would be able to round up your community and bringing people into your environment in order to help them. So it's no wonder you have such a sort of large network and a business that expands
Yeah.
outside of a small circle, because the more people that you're in contact with, the more people you can help. And that would be part of your nature that you would want to fulfill so you can feel yourself. Yeah, so you've got
Oh,
the
I love
natural.
that, Amanda. That's
Yeah,
so nice. That makes me, yeah, it's a quite accurate. I mean, one of my
yeah,
personal goals is really to impact as many lives as possible. And I'm already doing that through the people that I employ, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
these
yeah.
people, I consider it a huge responsibility, but also a huge honor to know that I'm supporting them to live a fantastic life. Because
Yeah.
everyone's paid well, everyone's treated well, everyone, is part of a really bigger picture and community. And so that in itself is like, wow, without me, they wouldn't have this opportunity. And that, I don't know, I think that's really what the whole mission is for me, just to
Yeah, and
support
then
people in every way, shape, and form.
you're impacting them, and then they're impacting every person that they come in contact with. So you can imagine it's like a large chain of events every day of good energy kind of spiraling out through you, through them, through all of the clients, and through all the people that they contact. It's sort of like a stream that keeps on flowing, starting in Bali in a heavenly
Oh,
retreat
literally.
place. So
Which
nice
is where
there.
I'm living, by the way, everyone.
Yeah.
I just needed to have, in very short, I really wanted to have a natural birth, which may not have been approved in Australia due to having to have previous C-sections. I
Mm,
needed the support in terms of like household, community. And so I literally intuitively was just like, yeah, we're going to move to Bali. Henry was like,
amazing.
fuck, Jade, really? Like, is this, and I was like, look, you got to be on board. I was like, I just know. I was like, I just know it's what we've got to do. I've really thought about it. And he was like, okay, this
Wow.
is your spirit talking, which is great, but give me all the pros and all the cons, and
Mm.
then I'll agree or disagree. And it was, it wasn't just me on a whim. Like there was way more pros than cons.
Oh,
And he was like,
yeah.
right, okay, I'll book the flights then.
Wow.
He's pretty
Wow.
good.
That's
He's
really
pretty good.
cool. Yeah.
Amanda, tell me about I can't read your human design, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Maybe one day you can teach me, but
Yeah.
I think for the audience, like you've obviously just given a quick profile of me being a pure
Mm.
generator, and you mentioned you're a projector. Can you unpack
Mm.
the elements that you just mentioned about me for yourself? Because it's really interesting and I'd love to know as well.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. But I also want to say one more thing about you that I was just quickly scanning over. So you have the right angle cross of laws. So this is about bringing order and truth and wisdom to the world. Your spiritual gift is here to structure and organize reality in a way that benefits others. So we were just sort of talking about how you created a reality where you can maximize your impact by, like
Yeah,
it's yeah, so you isn't it neat how you are in alignment with your design that you built yourself so that you'd be able to do that. And
it's amazing.
yeah, the challenge in that would be to trust the law of the universe and not resist what's naturally unfolding. There's so much more to yours, but in terms of mine's
Yeah.
oh, you've also got the channel of alpha, leadership, and mutation, which is a transformational channel. So you are able to take people from on a journey from who they are to who they want to be, or who they are, who they're becoming. So those are two of your natural gifts. There's so many more, but just in a short, um, just like a short little space
Love
there.
it.
It's pretty cool. I
Tell
love
me
when
about
people are in
you. I
alignment with
want
their
to know
design.
all about you, Amanda, because isn't it so interesting as well how we're obviously different personalities, different human design, but you can have two individuals that are on such a similar path in terms of their values, their kind of personal ethos, their business ethos, their career path, but also be two completely unique designs. So I think that's going to be
Yeah.
really interesting. So tell me all about your projector profile.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So my projector. So projector is different to generator. Projector is not an energy battery. It's a lighter sort of. It connects into people's battery, and it's a guiding sort of energy. Yeah,
Mm.
it's not a battery, it's an energy. So your aura would be like round and sort of pulsating and bringing people in, whereas mine's more like an arrow. It's wanting to go inside and see, okay, what's happening in there, what's happening there, and it sort of wants to. I guess it's like a bit of a navigator, a navigational tool kind of personality, leader, manager, coach, this kind of person that wants to do guiding,
Mm.
but guiding not necessarily from my intuition, but guiding by being able to read your truth, your patterns, your purpose, your passion, and guiding you to where you need to be, not where I want you to go. You know what I mean? So it's being able to get inside of you, read you, and take you to where you want to be. Just on it's a faster co-pilot energy. So that's
And
what the
isn't it
projector does.
interesting how on LinkedIn you then experience the generator energy of feeling drawn, but you were the seeker?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, so you've got that as the projector, and then your authority is in your body. Yours is the gut instinct. Yours is the sacral yes. So you would have the expansive like yes, I've got energy for this, or like nah, I can't use my battery for this. Whereas mine's more, it's called splenic authority. That's more of an authority means how we know what's right for us. So that's a mine's more like a deer that's quickly like changing direction just wherever the safe place is. It's just a very fast yes or no. It's not in the body. It's a very quick knowing, yes no, yes no, yes no kind of thing. So the authority, the projector, yeah, how you are meant to get what you want in life is to sort of like put your manifestation out there and wait for it to come back to you in the forms of signs, signals, impulses, stuff like that. And how I'm supposed to get what I want in life is to reveal myself, reveal my energy, and then see who's interested in taking what I've got to offer. So, for example, that woman with liquid learning, I saw that she's a conference organizer. She connected with me, and then I wrote to her as like, "Oh, if you're looking for any speakers, count me in. I love that stuff." I've already spoken with them a few years before, so I kind of on their roster in the past. And she's like, "Yeah, yeah, I want what you have." So I have to make myself known, but I'm not trying to force anything. You know what I mean? Like same with you. I was like, oh, I'd like to connect, and I'll let you feel to say, yeah, yeah, that energy seems good. I'm interested. So I sort of put myself out there and wait for someone to pull that in. I'm like a fish in that you get reeled in.
I swear to God, I was literally about to say that. That is the weirdest thing in my head. I was like, I had this vision when you were talking about round aura and arrow aura. And then I
Yeah.
saw in my mind's eye an arrow going into the ocean. And then you said a bit like a fish in a rod. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, sorry.
Yeah, reel this in.
Which,
So that's that. And then my cross is individualism. So yours is laws, which would be more of like I'd say I've got queen energy just because I love it. But You have much more, like it's ruler, it's laws. So that would be like full on leadership. Like that's really knowing what's right and what's wrong and how things should be. There would be a clear, ordered structure of reality that you are working within and trying to align people with. And mine is individualism, which is uh, more about teaching people through my own example of myself, self acceptance, follow your own path, be your own leader, be your unique energy, accept yourself as you are. So mine is a bit more of a rebellious, energetic, and it is a bit more solo energy, where yours is much more community, bigger picture,
Mhm.
purpose, power, vision. It's a bit more expansive. Mine's a bit more of the inside of working inside of that. So you would have, even though you, of course, you can work with individuals because you can make that macro or micro, but you're also appealing. You're well, you've got a force, so you need the community. That's part of who you are. Whereas I would maybe be inside your community rather than leading
Mm.
a community. A bit different qualities.
So interesting. So do you
Yeah.
know what's amazing, Amanda? This leads this I haven't we haven't scripted this, by the way. There's literally this is just when Amanda met Jade, like literally. How we're not going to reveal too much, but the things that we've been discussing, which are going to be a collaboration where we're both working in sync, everything that you've said, our personal interests, our hobbies, our history, our experience, but also our human design is
Mm.
almost perfect complement to actually impact other lives, collaborate, and put together what is going to look like a bit of a series, which we won't reveal too much, but it's going to be so amazing.
Mm. Yeah.
Like, it's going to be amazing. And I think one thing that we can be sure of, and that I think will be good to share, Amanda, what what does the word becoming mean to you?
Oh, that's beautiful. So when I think of the word becoming, I think for me it means there's always been a self inside that is like awake and aware, and it's the highest version of myself. And it's shedding. Becoming is sort of like the lotus coming out of the mud. It's shedding, it's integrating the past so that it that becomes part of the fabric of who I am, without regret, without bitterness, without bruises left on it. It's become pains turned into power, and I'm becoming my true nature, self acceptance. This is who I am. I'm not who my mom wants me to be. I'm not who my ex husband wants me to be. I'm not who society wants me to be. I'm truly becoming me. Self love, self care, self worth, self value, in alignment with my true identity. That's how I feel becoming sounds to
My
me.
God, that was, I don't think I could trump that answer, Amanda. That was so good. I feel exactly the same. It's being the alchemist of your own life. It's
Yeah.
transmuting the pain, the lessons, the experiences to come back to who you are
Mm.
versus to change. Like, we're always changing and growing, but I don't actually think we're moving outwards. We're actually moving inwards, or at least we should be, right?
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah, it's like the weaves of life, if we think about them as threads, like our
Mm.
life, our experiences, our very being. And when you pull apart a piece of fabric and it rips slightly, but it's still attached, it's like every time we become more aware and we come back into who we are and we heal and we transmute, it's like all the little pieces get woven back together and become
Right.
tighter and become more whole. So
Yeah.
lovely.
That's so
Um,
beautiful.
so yeah, me and Amanda are going to be putting together something very, very special. It's going to be so accessible for everyone. It's going to be touching on all of the things that we are naturally passionate about. A huge amount on my human design, which I think is just incredible. I'm excited to be part. I'm just going to be a student in that session. I'm just going to be like this, taking notes. Um, but yeah, there's going to be a beautiful series put together, super accessible for everyone, and it's going to be all about becoming,
Yeah.
returning to your home, coming back to
Mm.
yourself, healing, transformation, love, connection, networking, uncovering, like, oh, I'm just so excited about it.
I am too. And something we both have discovered that many women I know are on the path, and we're both clear on this path now, is becoming your soul self as well. So, we started off as souls and we become human and are having this lived experience, and it's kind of remembering that that's our true nature as a soul. So let integrating that into our personality is the essence of our becoming. So bringing in our spiritual practices so we can make that an everyday thing. It's more fun.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. It's like making life. And, this was something so interesting that I heard, was it from a friend? So being in Bali, Bali, Amanda, and there's a lot of ceremonies, right?
Mm.
And full admittance, they can be quite frustrating, especially if you're in traffic or something. But anyway, that's not what I'm trying to say. But everything's a ceremony. They've got holiday, they've got celebration, they
Mm.
dress up, there's music, there's dance, there's festival. And it did have me thinking. My friend said to me, life is like a ceremony. Life is
Ah,
one massive ceremony. And it really
yeah.
is.
Yes,
Everything is
that's the right
ceremonious.
way. Yeah.
Everything is, like deaths are ceremonious. The
Mhm.
celebration and acknowledgement of a life that was lived, a
Mhm.
birth. You know, every single small experience that we have, even when it's maybe a painful or negative one, it's ceremonious in that we're never going to experience it in that exact way again. So it's
Mm.
very unique and very special. And
Very special.
everything's really just a miracle, isn't it? The way it
Yeah.
happens and how it unfolds. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. What a nice, amazing environment that you've put yourself in. And I'm so looking forward to coming and
Oh my
being there
God.
with you and basking in the glory of Bali.
Amanda's even said, guys, Amanda's like, maybe I'll move to Bali. I'm like, oh my God, you should come. We're just going to move the whole world to Bali with us. Not that it's
Yeah. So
it's
good.
pretty congested as it is, but there's space for us.
There's
There is
still
space
room.
for us.
Cool.
100%. So from here, this is, by the way, this has literally been completely uncut. We just wanted to get to know each other, but we thought if we are able to authentically deep dive, it actually connects you with us whilst we connect with each other, which was,
Mm.
I think, a really special thing.
Yeah.
And also, I just love authenticity. I just think people love it. It's really attractive. It's magnetic, right? And when you try and curate things and you do too much of a script, it just loses the magnetism. And I think that's really what we as individuals are all about. Would you agree? Just like
Yeah. That's what you're
true.
about. That's for sure. I love it. Yeah, for sure.
I
Beautiful.
love. Thank you, Amanda. So from here, we are going to be doing a little bit of a teaser. There's going to be some bits and bobs that we're going to be posting about, but ultimately, it's all about becoming. And
Mhm.
there is so much wisdom, knowledge, value, connection, and love to share. I'm so, so excited. And this is just the exciting beginning of the journey.
Yes. Thank
Awesome,
you.
Amanda. I'm going to jump off, sending you so much love. I'm so happy. I'm absolutely glowing now. My generator energy is like ramped up. Um,
Cool.
I'm gonna have to. You meditate to get energy. It's so funny. Amanda said I'm gonna do a meditation before, just. And I honor that. I love that. But
Thank
I
you.
actually meditate to like almost diffuse some energy because I'm
Yeah.
so like it's just the total opposite.
Yeah, good. Well, the alternate meditation times.
Literally, I'm going to have to sit down and meditate. Otherwise, Henry's going to be like, your volume is way too loud. And I'm literally trying to work. And I know you're excited, but
Yeah,
I just need 5 minutes, Jade. It's like that
that's
kind of
awesome.
thing.
I love it.
Sending you so much
Beautiful.
love, Amanda.
Thank you.
And this is going to be something so special. I'm so excited. So
Thank you.
grateful for you. Thanks for
You
reaching
too.
out.
Thank you. Thank you. See you.
Bye.
Bye.